By stiffing the European bankers with his greenbacks, Lincoln sealed his fate with this pro-slavery movement, which also had close ties to the same banking families who gave us Karl Marx. Enjoying these videos? Don't forget to show your support. Hit the like button and share to spread the word. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel for the latest content. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. We're always open to suggestions. Also, visit the website at jamesanthonyreport.com to support our Patriot-approved sponsors. Your purchase keeps us on the air and ensures we continue providing you with info on the topics you like most. Now back to the report.
Come on, man!
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day.
According to the book Exposition of the Knights of the Golden Circle, published in 1861, this secret order and its Democrat members believed that the U.S. Constitution was a tyrannical document since it prohibited the slave trade. The group met in weekly meetings with certain signs of recognition and devised ways in Congress to spark a war that would provide the opportunity to dissolve the Southern territories. Ultimately, this group continued to thrive until the early 1900s and has never entirely went away, but continued under different names, with their own rites, rituals, and constitution.
We shall bind up the nation's wounds and cherish peace. That government of the people, by the people, for the people.
President Abraham Lincoln had targeted this secret society by way of issuing greenbacks as a way to fund the Northern War efforts. In 1863, the National Banking Act, which instituted a private central bank in the United States, was to be repealed by Lincoln after taking the oath of office in January of 1865. But after the Knights of the Golden Circle helped to agitate the Civil War, bankers in London had backed the Union, with French bankers backing the South, and the US was $100 million in debt. By stiffing the European bankers with his greenbacks, Lincoln sealed his fate with this pro-slavery movement, which also had close ties to the same banking families who gave us Karl Marx. In the 1960s, President John F. Kennedy ran into this cabal when he authorized $4 billion in US notes to get around the high-interest usury of these international bankers during his term.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it.
In 2020, we saw self-proclaimed civil rights leader Joe Biden run a presidential campaign from his basement in Delaware.
For two reasons. One, it's an impact that decades been making, because inaction was there was inaction with the Department of from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa.
We have a Democrat establishment that believes the Constitution is racist.
And it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country.
A second civil war is being fomented by the party in power.
Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it.
And in 2024, there seems to be no such thing as fiscal sanity anymore.
I think most Americans know that prices are not likely to fall. It's not the Fed's objective to try to push the level of prices back.
No one willing to step in front of the Fed train, so to speak.
Well, the high prices were not caused by Bidenomics.
And though today's America is divided along many lines, here's some of the good news.
The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Act of the 1950s.
Through all of the chaos, confusion, and heartbreak, the American citizen is waking up.
Cognitive skills seems like it's not there, not 100%. So I'm a little afraid of that.
That worries you?
Yeah. For the state of the world, definitely.
He be forgetting things, saying things over and over. And as I read yesterday, he's talking about a person that already had passed away.
So-called Black America is waking up too.
Milk don't need to cost $7. Bread don't need to cost $5. Don't get me started with how much sugar costs. You can talk about employment all you want to. You can talk about the labor participation rate. But guess what? If you ain't making no damn money and you got to get 2 jobs to pay the same prices or to buy the same amount of stuff that you used to buy and the price is higher than it used to be because of inflation, then guess what? What are you really accomplishing?
And despite all that's being done to us,
that's why Trump is on the verge of getting elected.
All the efforts to keep us on this plantation.
Senator Biden, you and your campaign have had a number of occasions to correct or clarify things you've said relating to race. Your comment about Indians working at 7-Eleven, and recently to the Washington Post in which you spoke about race while describing disparities between schools in Washington, D.C. and Iowa.
This is indeed good news.
And if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
You're getting migrants beating up policemen in the streets of New York. You're seeing an influx of migrants all over the country that frankly have people outraged. And couldn't there be some kind of public pressure put in the next couple of days in some of these senator states saying, why are you allowing this to continue? Because at the end of the day, senators have to deal with their voters. And at the same time, in the bill, you give money to Gaza, to civilians in Gaza and Israel. But the border, I mean, we're looking every day at the invasion of migrants.
If we're interested in preserving the legacies of both Lincoln and Kennedy,
I would encourage people to find who's supporting that policy and see what happens.
But you can't get yourself to say vote for Biden over Trump.
I've never spoken to as many people who are concerned about the migrant issue as I have, over the past year. They took 2,000 migrants and put them in the school and made the schools stay home, made the students stay home.
We the people will band together to pave the way for a future generation that remains free.
The Republican Party under Trump has become a tremendous success.
Are you going to be able to flip blue states like in New York and in New Jersey? There's a rumor you're going to do a rally in the South Bronx.
I think so, yeah. I think I will do that. And
when are you going to do that?
I think I'll do one maybe at Madison Square Garden, too. I think we have a chance. New York has changed a lot in the last 2 years. We have migrants all over the street. They're living on Madison Avenue. I mean, nobody can believe what's happened to New York. The people of New York are angry.
This is James Anthony reporting.
And I'm angry. That's why.
I hear you. I do hear you.
So why can't I get in the building?
Because you can't get in right now. No one can go in.
Why? Where's the mayor at? Y'all, this town's a sham, yo. It's all about money. It's a money grab. Y'all give a about the motherfucker that was born and raised here. Y'all raised the rent so high. Can't afford to live here, but y'all gonna bring some other motherfuckers